So how do I know how much a property is going to rent for before I even buy it or before I even build the property? You know, a lot of what we're doing is building additional units on these lots. And how do I have an idea when I'm looking at purchasing the property if it's going to be a good investment, if I'm going to get a return for my money once it's built, once it's developed, once it's rehabbed, and I get it rented out?
How do I know?
I'm going to take you through that right now. So I know what a lot of people probably do, where they go online and they search all the different rental websites that they can possibly look up, from Craigslist to Zillow to apartments.com, and try to look at the overall area of where that rental property is located and say, hey, within a certain proximity, this is what it looks like these properties are renting for. But that is not what I do. That is highly inefficient.
That would be a waste of time.
And it's not really all that accurate. You know, just because you can kind of piece together a little bit of information doesn't mean that you're actually getting the best information out there. So what I do is I use a website called Rentometer. There may be some others out there that do something similar, but I found that this is a pretty good and accurate representation of the market. And what Rentometer does is exactly what I just mentioned. You can try to do manually, but they go onto all the different websites out there and they truly get a representation of what the low, medium, and high rental values are for a specific area. And I go online to their tool. I just simply put in the address, I put in how many bedrooms the property has, and I put in how many bathrooms. I think it only does 1+. And once I put in that information, I just hit analyze, and it takes me to a screen that shows me really where the low, medium, and high rental values are, where the median is, and you know, on both sides of that. And knowing that before I rent a property out is either going to be built completely new or it's going to be rehabbed, I know that I'm going to be somewhere towards the higher end of that area. Another way that you can know what you can charge for rent, maybe you're looking at Rentometer and this spread that they're giving you is a little bit thin, or you just don't really know if that neighborhood can support the values that they're supposedly saying on Rentometer. You can look at what Section 8 is willing to pay. It's right there, it's posted, and it's not a guarantee that you will get the highest threshold amount, but if you have a nicely rehabbed or newly built property, you more likely than not are going to be towards the higher end of the spectrum of what Section 8 is willing to pay for the rental property. So right there you can see, you know, a 2-bedroom is going to pay a certain amount, a 3-bedroom is going to pay another amount, guaranteed by Section 8. And how Section 8 works is the tenant will pay a small portion. Usually it's maybe a third of the total rent. Sometimes it's even 20% or less. It really depends on how much the tenant is earning for income and what their needs are. And then Section 8, government agency, is going to guarantee the rest of the payments. So like clockwork, on the first of every month, you're going to be getting a payment from Section 8. It's a little bit more onerous to get into the Section 8 program and go through the vetting process for each property because they have to inspect each property before the tenant moves in. But once they're in, honestly, it's guaranteed income coming in or month out. Even if the tenant loses their income and is unable to pay their 20 or 30% portion, Section 8 is still going to keep on paying the amount they've agreed to going forward into the future. So I have personally done this. I know some people shy away from Section 8, but it's always worked out for me when I've done it, and it's been a good source of income. So once you've determined what the range is for your property in terms of rental income, what's the number one way that you can increase and drive those rents higher? Well, you may be able to increase the rent a little bit if you remodel the bathroom or you fix up the kitchen or put new cabinets in or do flooring and paint. All of those things will help you drive a little bit of rent to kind of get you to the higher end of the spectrum. But truly, the number one way that you're going to drive rents higher to a significant degree is by increasing the bedroom count.
And this is where the magic happens.
So what that means is that you might have, you know, a 13 or 1400 square foot house that's only a 2-bedroom as it currently sits. What you could do is look, is there any additional space within that house where you can add an additional bedroom? Sometimes there's a family room and a living room and a dining room plus the kitchen. Maybe you take one of those additional spaces and remodel it, turn it into an additional bedroom. Take that 2-bedroom house, turn it into a 3-bedroom house. By doing so, you're going to increase the number of people that are going to be able to live there and sleep there. You're going to be able to increase the rent and drive that truly higher by a more significant degree than simply remodeling, putting new flooring, paint, kitchen cabinets, all of that. The bedroom count is the single biggest thing that's going to make the biggest difference. So, hope this helps. Hope this information is useful and helpful. And if so, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And if you have any suggestions on what you'd like me to talk about, whether it's developing additional units, talking a little bit more on the Section 8 concept, or talking just about adding additional rooms, or how we analyze or even find our properties, I'd be happy to talk about all of those in future episodes. Leave a comment below to let me know what you want to know, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.